Hi, and welcome back to Irene's World. I shared with you how I met Angel, and she really has and was an angel in my journey. Well, Angel having sent me that message, can you come over quickly to my home? I just live 2 houses below you. I locked up my house, went to Angel's home, and lo and behold, I was just about to experience a different understanding that I had about people who hear from God, who know God, who have found themselves in God. Angel was a single mother. I'm saying was because she has since transitioned to another world. But I remember walking into her home and it was filled with smoke and it was a table filled with booze, and I was like, whoa, what have I got myself into? She just told me, Irene, sit down. And I almost doubled back to leave. But inside me, I had a voice said, weren't you the one looking for me? Don't you know that I am the one speaking to you through Angel? So I stayed. I sat down, and the moment Angel started having a conversation with me, there's this peace that came over me that I've never felt, which I've been seeking in all the places, but it seemed to be flowing through Angel. Well, we had a quick conversation there. I got comfortable with her, and she then instructed me to return the next day with a notebook, which she said I had written all my questions. Now, this really blew me away. I'm like, I have not met her to tell her that I have a book in which I put my questions about myself and why experiences are happening to me. So she said, bring that book. I'll answer all those questions for you tomorrow, and any other questions that you want to ask me. Now, that night I hardly slept because I was so excited. Why? Because finally I had got someone who's going to explain to me who I was, why I was here, and who is God, and how do I hear the voice of God for myself. And yet I've been now once in a while hearing that voice for myself. So I quickly left, came back home. I hardly slept that night, woke up in the morning so excited because I had finally found someone who's going to help me understand and find God. And I remember sitting next to her. This morning there was a cup of tea. She had prepared for me this nice meal. She was the best cook I've ever encountered this side of the world. And the question she asked me was, who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm Irene Ochovia Ruhanga. She said, shut up. Who are you? I'm a mother. I graduate. Who are you? And I'm like, that's all who I know I am. She said, you see? You started on the journey of self-inquiry and you thought you were all those things, but that's not who you are. Those are roles that you have played. Now go back home, come back tomorrow and tell me who you are. So I left like a puppy with its tail between its you know what. I went back the next day very eager. Once again, she asked me, who are you? And I honestly told her, I do not know who I am. For a period of 2 months, every day I would go down, we'd go through the scriptures, she would explain to me what they were all about. And then at one point she told me, Irene, you better learn what I'm teaching you quickly because I am traveling soon. By then I was at that state where I didn't understand her language of traveling soon. I thought she was going to board a plane and go to the US because she had sisters in the country of the US. She told me, you better cram whatever I'm telling you now and start putting it into practice. She was discipling, she was breaking down the scriptures and explaining them to me to understand that they are talking about you and me, the Christ that we seek, God, whoever we've called him up to this point, is resident in every human being. But there comes a time when an experience knocks you off those titles. He says, Irene Ochovia Ruhanga, PD Radio 1. That's not who I was. So when she knocked those off, I started slowly trying to understand the journey of self-inquiry. Long story short, I went on a weekend out of Kampala. She also went on a weekend out of Kampala. I came back. I had a funny dream where my gate had collapsed. I remember rushing down and sharing it with her. And she told me, as you dreamt it, it's going to happen. And true to the word, my gate jammed. It's an electronic gate. And because it jammed that day, I couldn't see her for 2 days. But in my spirit, I was unsettled. So on the 3rd day, I said, whether they're coming to fix the gate or not, I'm not the gate man. I rushed down to her home, and I found her lying on the bed, almost dead. An angel told me, I was waiting for you. No one was going to take me to hospital except you. So we rushed her to Nsambia Hospital with her brother, And I remember getting there and I knew she was going. The last words were, "Irene, please cover me up and don't let them dishonor me by pulling my clothes up." And the doctors chased me away. I remember walking away from Nsambia. I did not take a cab. I did not take a taxi. I just walked all the way back home. But as I was coming back home, I knew Angel had transitioned and I was at peace with it. And we laid her to rest. But I'm grateful that I encountered Angel because she now personally discipled me. So when Angel passed on, I realized I was now on my own. She had done her part to disciple me to know that this life we're seeking, these questions we're seeking, there comes a point in your life. I don't know what experiences you've gone through. There comes a point in your life that whatever experience comes your way is pushing you to seek the answer within. And so I went on the journey of within. But guess what? This journey also led me first back to a church. I became a church leader. I did some teaching there, and then I was pulled out immediately. As I speak now, I'm on that journey of self-inquiry, and a lot is unfolding personally to me. Like Angel had told me then, that when you truly desire to seek the truth, you will know it for yourself. And right now I'm at that point where I've got to understand that the Garden of Eden wasn't a physical garden. The apple is not what they ate. The tree of knowledge of good is not actually what we have thought it to be. The 12 disciples, because remember I was discipled by Angel. The 12 disciples as we have known them are actually the 12 faculties of the human being that have to be discipled by the life in each one of us. The Christ is the one to disciple those 12 faculties, and when they are well discipled, such a person is a person who can confidently stand and say they know who they truly are because they and their maker are one. And that's where I am right now in my journey, and I'm hoping that by sharing this, look at your life experiences. Have they turned you to seek? Whether it pushed you to a church, whether it pushed you to an individual, all that is part of the journey. But from this point on, I'm going to share with you how you will really understand who the 12 disciples are. And I pray that the life in you will awaken and school them for you so that you finally know that the perfect life, the perfect man or perfect woman you've been looking for all this while is standing right in front of you when you stand in the mirror, and that it is you. But until you embark on that journey of self-inquiry on your own, you will not get to that point. So I wonder where you are in your journey of self-inquiry. But in Irene's world, we're living in the now, and it is what it is.